Hey, so are we using the M2 or the M3 called Gustav?
I say the
We're gonna be doing the
M3.
M3.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Screw the
Yeah.
M2, Cody, and screw anybody who likes it.
So there it is, in all its glory. The C6 GPMG. It's an air-cooled, belt-fed, gas-operated auto weapon. It actually has different fire um, selections on it in terms of the gas regulation. So you can go from, I believe this one has 3 settings. You got normal, adverse, and then you have a third one.
I think it's the, if I remember correctly, it's the C9 that got three things. The C6 got only 2. Got the regulator on the tip of the gun. You have to
The
dismount
C9
and
doesn't have 3.
And C9 has 2, this one has 3.
Yeah,
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 C9
yeah.
only has regular and adverse.
No, I'm stupid.
Right?
Alright, so the caliber on this thing is a 7.62 by 51 millimeter, so it has a very flat trajectory of a round, which makes it really effective. It goes pretty far on a pretty flat plane. You can shoot pretty well flat with this thing I've seen up to 600 meters, where it's just gone in a straight line, like a boss. The actual weight on this thing is 11 kilos. The barrel weighs around 3 kilos by itself, just to give you some perspective, and each of these belts, it's like 220 round belts, should weigh 5.4 kilograms. So generally speaking, with C6 teams, you'll have your number 1, which will be the guy who has the weapon. Number 2, which will usually have a C7. The ammunition, spare barrels, and the number 3, who is the gun controller. That will come up again later on, so remember that part. The C6 has a cyclic rate of fire of 650 to 1,000 rounds per minute. Obviously that depends on what gas setting you're on. And like I said, it has 3 positions on the gas regulator. Modes of fire is automatic only, and the sight can be adjusted from 200 meters to 1,800 meters inside 100 meter increments. And this part's important too, remember this part, effective range on the bipod is 800 meters it can shoot. If you have it on a tripod in the sustained fire roll, it's 1,800 meters.
Regroup.
So the role of the GPMG is a versatile weapon that can support both offensive and defensive ops. It can provide a heavy volume of close, accurate, and continuous fire support to pin down enemy and destroy enemy personnel. Usually kills them in one shot. It's debatable. The same weapon, that same heavy volume of fire, when employed as a protective fire, forms an integral part of a unit's defensive fire plan and can effectively break up and stop an enemy assault. FPF, final protective fire. That's something we'll go over a little later. It's pretty good against soft-skinned vehicles to very lightly armored vehicles, and really damn good at bringing down brick walls. So I went over the machine gun fire team. One thing to remember, all these weapons that we're going to cover today are platoon level assets, so they can turn by the platoon commander.
Back over. Tech 119,
Now we're going to cover principles of machine gun employment. So maximum efficiency and TAC employment of all types of machine guns can be reached by applying the following principles. One is mutual support, coordinated fire, positions set up inside defilade, positions inside to produce enfilade, interlocking arcs of fire, covering concealment, and the economy of your rounds. So now we're going to cover rates of fire. So how many rounds per minute do you suppose a rapid rate of fire is?
220?
6 to 10.
6 to
Yeah,
10 a
you're all
minute?
pretty close. It's 200 rounds per minute is rapid rate.
No, it's just
How
going off
long
the
do you
box
think?
size.
Yeah. How long do you think a burst is for a rapid rate?
6 to 10. Well, 5 to 10.
That's 10 to 12.
Okay.
And generally these are fired 2 to 3 seconds apart. So a rapid rate is 200 rounds per minute delivered in 10 to 12 rounds bursts, fired 2 to 3 seconds apart from each burst. So generally you would have 2 of these things in your platoon, and when one shoots, the other one will fire the next. So you never really have a lull in gunfire. There's always some form of rounds going down range. A slow rate is exactly half. So 100 rounds per minute delivered in bursts of 6 to 8 rounds, fired 4 to 5 seconds apart. So when you're on a gun line on this range, you'll probably hear something like rapid rate, go on. Rapid rate, so now you'll know what rapid rate means. 10 to 12 rounds, 2 to 3 seconds apart. Slow rate will mean 6 to 8 rounds, 4 to 5 seconds apart. Now we'll go into the actual theory of machine gun fire. This is the part where some people will fall asleep, but I'll try to make it as interesting as possible. So has everybody here used Twiddler?
Yep.
Yes.
You're about to find out. Just click on this link at the bottom. In Training Room 1 that I just put up.
Yeah, I really can't alt tab out of this game. It just fucks with my computer for like a couple minutes. Hold on a second.
Sorry, what's that?
Just click on that link I put on
I am
at
not
the
too
bottom.
sure. No, it's taken a little while.
Okay, so while you guys are all bugged out and trying to load in, I'm gonna just keep pushing on here. So, characteristics of fire. With all bullets and rounds and stuff, we always have what's called trajectory. And trajectory is basically from the time the bullet leaves your rifle or your muzzle, it's naturally gonna get pulled down by gravity and do a certain type of angle on its way down. It's the easiest way I can really explain it. Because the elevation of the axis of the bore, so the bore of your weapon, the projectile, when it leaves the muzzle, does not travel in a straight line. It starts to prolongate, and the axis of your bore, so where you're aiming, to the line of your aim, if that makes any sense. Then, under the influence of gravity, like I said, and resistance of air, the projectile begins to fall, following a curved path. The curved path, followed by the projectile, is called the trajectory. And this is especially true now in Arma ever since they added in those new ballistics. I'm not sure if you guys have noticed how the bullets travel differently now.
Yeah.
So next part we'll cover is the cone of fire. So in that image in Twiddler, you can see what I mean by the cone of fire. So as each round ejects out of or releases outside of the barrel, it has a different trajectory, and with machine guns, it makes a nice cone as such. On the other end, where your rounds are landing, that's what we call the bean zone. So, cone of fire. When a burst is fired, okay, so if you really would need to know the official definition, when a burst is fired, the vibrations of the gun give each bullet a trajectory slightly different from the last one, resulting in a group of trajectories, which is what the cone of fire is. Your beam zone is the area on the ground upon where the cone of fire falls. So quite simply, it's where the cone of fire impacts.
7. Fall back.
When you have a slope ground, the cone of fire will fall on level ground, which is at the same height as a gun. So if you're shooting downhill, it will essentially just keep going. The angle stays the same, unless you start chewing up the actual bottom of the hill on the way down. That's why these things are especially effective, like the C6. When you fire it in the sustained fire roll in the tripod, we get what's called a C2 sight, and you can actually fire the C6 like a mortar. It's pretty cool. All you need to know is the grid and the distance, and you dial it in on the sight, and you can shoot 1,800 meters away like a mortar. I think that's coming soon for Arma, so.
I was about to ask, we don't have any sort of adaptation for that for Arma, do we?
No,
not
we had a tripod in Arma 2.
7. Rally
But it
up.
was just like, it would just be like dry aligning, firing it, you know, like unlocking and locking and just shooting with your sights. There's no concept of dialing in a bearing or elevation.
Alright.
Okay. Just give me a sec. 1-1, this is a 1-9er message.
Seven. Return to formation.
Okay, I'll draw out the next part. So, with this entire image, oh, what the hell did I just press? Can you guys see me drawing?
Give me a second.
Yeah.
Okay, so from the point of where your muzzle is and the end of the beam zone, that's the danger space. Essentially anywhere where you're shooting downrange to its extreme limit on the other end is danger space. So that's the space you don't want to be in. Your dead space is the part that's just underneath the actual gun itself. So it's like almost almost mathematically impossible for you to get killed in that space.
User entered your channel. User in your channel timed out.
Like I wrote there. So danger space, dead space. I have another image to better describe this. Give me a second.
Seven. Fall back.
Oh, I watched Animal Farm in grade 12.
That's good to know.
Okay. So the official definitions of this stuff is dead space is an area within the maximum range of a weapon which cannot be covered by fire. Or sorry, that's dead space, yep. Danger space, the area of the muzzle of the gun going out into the beam zone where a standing man, which is 1.8 meters tall, will be hit. So the classes for fires.
Rally up.
Machine gun fire is classified with respect to the ground, the target, and the gun itself. The machine guns are the only things that you can actually call guns. Everything else we shoot are rifles. The next time when you see or hear somebody saying, "Hey, I need a gun," and they're really asking for a rifle, just ignore them. So with that image you have, now there's different types of fire with respect to ground. Grazing fire, as is shown there, you fire approximately parallel to the ground, where the center of the cone of fire does not rise above a meter, so you're shooting pretty well straight, but in a way to just graze. Plunging fire is when you shoot out of all different angles, and you try to really get your rounds to go up and down.
Is it like an indirect fire?
Sort of. It's fire in which the angle of fall of the rounds, which are the blah blah blah. What the hell am I reading? It's basically where the danger space is practically confined to the beam zone.
Okay.
So like you basically are kind of shooting in an indirect way. Other forms of fire you got frontal fire, which is the long axis of the beam zone. Flanking fire delivered against the flank of a target. Oh, I have images for this one. Stand by.
No, I don't even know if I'll like finish by like, I don't know. It's ridiculous. Like it might take me another 30 to 45 minutes.
Okay, so flanking fire. Suppose your enemy, you are here. Oh my God.
I'm on TFA. Okay.
I'm on FHQ accessories. Okay.
So flanking fire literally would be to the left of this. You are at the flank and firing it at it. Oblique is when the target is oblique to you, so you're shooting at them on an angle. Frontal fire is when you're shooting at them straight on. And the last important one you need to remember is searching fire, or traversing fire. So one of the words of command you might get, firing from the left to right, rapid rate go on, so you would fire one burst left, move your gun over, one burst, move your gun over, one burst, move your gun over, one burst, move your gun over, one burst. So you just completed traversing and searching fire. It's a good way to really cover your bases, especially if you don't know where the enemy is necessarily, you can't see them anymore. It's a good way to find them, because generally when you start to hit them, then they make all sorts of noise and shoot back. Adjustments of fire. Now this one, we do several different ways. And you guys will learn that from when you're doing the actual gun controlling. You can say bring it up to the right, up 5, to the right 5 mils. And that's basically you... I don't know if you guys notice, when you guys move your guy around in the game, he kind of clicks. I'm not sure. It depends on your mouse sensitivity. Just stand up for a second and try putting your weapons forward. And try slowly moving your weapon up. You notice how it kind of clicks? I know it's supposed to be smooth, and for most people it would be smooth, but there's a little bit of like a clicking motion. No?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So that's what we're gonna use. Same thing for the left or right. So supposing you guys are firing downrange and you're firing way off to the right, you can say stop, adjust fire, left 5, up 5. You can either do that by the click system, or you can actually do that by physical meters.
7. Fall back.
If you think he's shooting 1 meter a meter over the target, you can tell him drop 1 meter or drop 1. We'll do it in figures with meters. So drop 1, raise 1, 2 right, 3 left. Now you're telling him to move over 3, move over 2. You guys see what I mean? For adjusting?
Yep.
Another way is literally just to say watch my laser and adjust. So adjust the guy's fire with your laser movements so his tracers will follow your laser. That's more for shooting at night. Another thing you guys will find yourselves doing, which is very dangerous, is overhead fires. Overhead fire is fire delivered over the heads of friendly troops, naturally. A machine gun, like on a tripod, even a light roll. The only thing that you have to be careful of this is make sure you are lined off properly and you set a safety limit. I'll show you the picture.
7. Halt.
This is probably the most important thing, one of the most important things. A lot of people forget about this stuff, so you see where the machine gun is, you see where the infantry is, and you see a safety limit. He knows that once the infantry get close to that tree, he better stop shooting. Because they are then going to start going up the incline and they're going to take a round in the back of the head. So always look around. This is what, especially, not necessarily the number 1, this is more the number 2 and number 3. Number 3's job, the gun controller. Make sure you're looking around and you know what the safety limit is when you have friendly troops advancing. Okay, now we're just gonna go over action drills on contact. So there's 3 of you guys, or 4 of you. Casista, you'll be the number 1, so grab a C6.
Roger.
Vale, you'll stay number 2, and Junkie, you'll be the number 3. So you're gonna be the gun controller. Do you have a set of binoculars? You go ahead and grab
Just give me a second.
Yeah.
I got a set, Junkie.
And Curdy, grab an 84. Okay, so what we're gonna practice now is moving in a machine gun team. So in the event that you guys get lucky, more than likely what will just happen is it'll be the C6, the number 2, and the weapons deck commander. With if we had any additions like Curdy, you'll be in the back, so you guys will probably move in like a diamond shape. So C6 at the front, number 2 on the right or the left, and the gun controller can be on the left and the right too. It just all depends, kind of in a triangle shape. And if you have an 84, you can put them on either flank too, it doesn't really matter. So, if you were moving in this direction, suppose I want you to set up your gun on that position. So just keep walking up to it. What you guys would do is take a position of cover, like prior to the objective. The number 2 and the number 2 and number 3 will go and conduct a box search of the area. So if you had to set up on this vehicle, the LMG would stay back. Number 2 and 3 would go up and do a quick search, make sure everything is safe. You guys know how to do box searches?
No.
Okay. I just come back here to the start position, where the C6 is.
I kind of know how to do a box search.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. So you guys would start here. Now you would face out, both of you guys. As if he's the back end of the box, you would walk out 10 paces. Turn to the right or your left. Walk down. Then turn right or his left. And then meet each other in the center. Okay. You guys want to wager a guess as to why you don't take the C6 up first?
Might get shot. Misfire.
Yeah. The reason you guys go up is because you guys have a more close quarter weapon than he does. In the event that there is an imminent enemy, like literally right on the other side of this thing, he would be absolutely screwed.
Oh.
He would have no means of... It's a pretty big gun. Like, you wouldn't really be able to do anything with it in a close quarter fight.
Go in Terminator style with the...
Yeah, you'd have to...
always in CC.
You'd have to go Rambo or something, but it's not practical, so that's why you guys go up first. At this point, the gun controller can stay, and the number 2 can run back and go grab him, and then bring the C6 up and set up. This is the part where you guys would basically, at this point the platoon commander would have either put you in the fire base, or you guys have come upon this position, you have to start doing target recording. So, you pull out your rangefinder, point at the truck, so mind you, you are marking and staking from this position. One thing to do, that I do, is I just get a little pad and paper, and I'll draw it out as if I'm facing it. Put in red car 349, so that's target 1, bearing 349, 44 meters out.
You mean build a range card?
Yeah, range card. I'm trying to dumb it down. You guys know what that is.
So I need to be standing on top of him,
I know
so
what
he
that
has
is
the bearing.
because of my time in the army.
Yeah, exactly. I was just trying to simplify it.
Yeah,
So,
my acre isn't coming up. Oh wait, never mind. There it is. It says okay. Wait. No,
okay, so that's target 1. Target 2 will be bearing 000, roughly, or 35 meters away. Target 3, 022, bearing 12 meters away. So you draw all this stuff out. Obviously, you know your left of arc is that wall over there, and your right of arc
Okay,
is that other
what
wall.
slot should I go into?
So now, gun team, you would have this range card and you guys would go over it together. So when the gun controller says, number 1 gun, target 1, lay. You would get your weapon and point it towards target 1, and then once you're on target, or you can aim at it, you tell the gun controller, number 1 gun on.
Number 1 gun on.
At this point, the gun controller would say, number 1 gun, rapid rate, go on, and you would open fire on target 1.
And I?
Sure. Number 1 gun, stop, target.
New target.
Target 2, lay.
Target 2 on site.
Number 1 gun, slow rate, go on. Number 1 gun, adjust fire traverse left to right in 2 mil 2 mil increments. So you would do 1 burst, shift over 2, 1 burst, shift over 2. Number 1 gun, stop, make safe.
It's fire, make safe.
Okay, in case you guys don't know what make safe is put your weapon on safe,
Unload the weapon.
unload the weapon, reload the weapon. Well, sorry, unload the weapon and put a new belt on. Actually, sorry. Make safe is unload followed by reload. Okay. Junkie, you still good, or you think you can pull this one off now?
I'll give it a shot.
Alright, so get him on. Well, just get him on whatever target you need to get him on. And your number 1 gun.
Alright. Let's see. Do I need to tell him which? I mean, obviously left or right is 1, 2, and 3 target, right?
Up to you.
Yeah, that's just how. Well, you can number them differently. You can, if you
That's
want.
how you walked us through it, so that's how I'm
User
gonna.
joined your channel.
Yeah,
Some of
you
it
can
from
just
there.
go off of that.
Number 1 gun on. Target 1.
No, it'd be number 1 gun
On target.
Target 1 lay, and then he'll tell you number 1 gun on, which means he's on.
I'll say so. Number 1 gun on. Target lay.
No,
Okay.
number 1 gun, target 1 lay. Lay means lay on target.
Number 1 gun. Target 1 lay.
Target.
Number 1 rapid rate. Go on. Number 1 gun stop.
It's
Make
fire.
safe.
Safe.
Would you do that after every target though?
Depends.
You're gonna want him to. Oh, make safe. I just said because he'd already fired a few, and I didn't tell him to reload.
Yeah, I just made
So.
safe.
Make safe is just a unload followed by a load. So all he's gonna do is press R and put his weapon on safe.
Alright.
But no, that's pretty good. Get him to fire on target 3.
Number 1 gun. Target 3 lay.
Now there might be instances where he may
On
not
target.
be able to figure out what the range is, so he might ask you, and then you can tell him because you're looking. But that's just for a future thing.
Alright.
On target.
Number 1 slow rate. Go on. Number 1 gun stop.
Fire.
Alright, perfect. Now we'll switch around. Let's go, C6 team, call that thing out.
C6 effort bearing 003, range 60 meters. Shoot that fuckers. Rapid rate, rapid rate.
Fire.
Okay, mobility on it. Next, the guy. Good. Okay, next target.
Take it down.
84, reference due north, 50 meters. Enemy effort seen.
Next target. Bearing
Same.
352. Range
Clear back
160 meters.
Back
One
last
time
clear.
enemy transport truck. Rapid
Fire.
rate on it.
Rocket. Clear back blast.
Back last clear.
Rocket.
Boom.
Good hit, good hit.
I hope they're not
Reloading.
on the other end of that range. I'm really worried now. 1-1, this is 1-9er message over.
C6. Target 1 range 70 meters. Due
On.
north. Slow rate. Correction. Rapid rate go up. Shift fire bearing 346, range 30 meters. 2 times enemy transport.
Make
Hey,
sure you
Junkie,
give
we
him
have
a...
a on.
On.
Rapid rate, go on.
Oh, geez.
Are we good? Nobody dead?
Second target.
6 target transport
Brown,
truck
you okay?
due north
Still here?
bearing 359er, range 160, rapid rate, go on.
On. Firing.
Doggy stuff.
C6 slow rate, go on. Adjust range. There, range is 186.
186.
186.
That was the range, not the bearing.
Group, range, location, type of fire.
Out of ammo.
Hold on a second.
Do those vehicles still ignite when you hit them in the fuel tank in the middle? Between the tires? Between 2 tire wells?
Reload.
Front and back?
Reloading.
They fix that.
Firing.
Is your weapon bipod down?
There's a lot of kick on that. You should check that.
How do you deploy bipod?
How do you deploy bipod?
Try your tab.
Tab?
Do you get the little thing by your HUD in the middle?
Yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah, I got nothing either.
User joined your channel.
Yeah,
when
I
I
think
did
the
it,
C6 might not have it.
Maybe I need to get near this. No?
Try
Yeah.
resting it on a backpack, it should work.
Yeah.
Okay, ceasefire for a second.
AI.
Yep, got it.
On which
Wait.
target?
I had it.
User disconnected from your channel.
Does it need the bipod attachment?
There we go. Firing. Oh, it went away.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Two, three, 4, 5, 2, 3. Oh, that took a little while. Say again.
Rocket.
Way to clear your black blast, sister.
Yeah.
You just broke my face off.
Yeah, right.
That's no laughing matter. I shouldn't laugh.
This one's a bit close.
You might want to use a C6
Never
on
too
this one.
close. Never too close.
I'm gonna go behind this conveniently placed effort if you'll need me.
C6 target enemy Zamac transport truck bearing 334, range 30 meters.
Go on.
Slow rate, go on.
Nice.
Target destroyed.
Shrapnel everywhere.
If you want to go and see what that BMQ is doing, you can.
Smokes and ice cream for everyone.
Oh, Andy,
Oh,
get back, get back, get back. Oh.
Microphone muted.
Grid 2, 3, 9, 1, 8.
Medic!
Now we're good.
Microphone
Yeah, Dad.
activated.
It's in the bag if you want it.
Alright, on.
Okay.
Clear, backblast.
Not clear.
Dallas, this is Townsend here, check.
Okay, backblast clear.
Yeah.
Ready?
Rocket!
Can you drop me a Tiliant or something?
Your point of aim is at the 9 at 300 meters. Where is your POI going to be then? Your point of impact.
This is with the C79 sight?
Yeah.
Should be
Or when
X.
you just adjust it for 300 meters? Like the
Right, exactly.
tone the dial technically?
Yep. You'd have to do that, but you'd also have to aim up.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
At 300 meters, once you adjust the sight, your actual POI and POA is going to be different. You'll still have to aim up a little bit.
So then what's the point of adjusting the sight? Where are you? You're on this side, okay.
No, you still need to adjust the sight too, but you also need to adjust your point of aim.
So what is the benefit of adjusting the sight then? Why wouldn't I just continuously adjust my aim up?
Oh no, I
Farther
think
away?
it's just applicable to the video game, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just for the video game, because I don't think the sights actually adjust.
Well, yeah, they do.
Unless the
Yeah, I
calf
think they
pack,
do.
do they fix it in the calf pack?
Yeah,
Okay, sure. So,
they do because if when I was shooting with the boss the other day, we were at the end of the 1000 meter with the C7, and with 300 meters our bullet were dropping really short, and on the when we put our scope on the 800, just raise a little bit over the target and we drop them.
yeah, but you still had to move your muzzle as well, right?
Well, yeah, but it was at the 1000 meter. If I'm on the 300 mark, if I'm at the 300 mark and my gun is set for 300, I'm gonna hit blast on blast.
You're gonna,
Yep.
Your POI is going to be the same as your POA?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
what I thought.
That's what it should be, in theory, if you've changed it.
But it is in game, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Just confirming, because I thought that's what, I was like, what the hell's the point of having the sight then?
They still recommend, even though you've switched off your sight, like when we do the PWT3, we still aim up a little bit when we're trying to group for the center.
Yeah, I gotta run.
Okay, so that's up and down. We're talking vertical. So imagine you are firing. So suppose I'm trying to shoot on this target, and I'm shooting from about 400 meters out, but I'm actually hitting that target. What do you suppose is causing that?
User disconnected from your
Target
channel.
identification?
Well, are you calling me an idiot?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Okay, supposing I was not an idiot and I was actually shooting, my POI was in fact on that, but my POA is there. Why do you think? What's causing that?
The sights are not aligned?
Oh my god, guys, this is really easy. This one. What is natural and blows us around everywhere?
The wind.
Wind?
Yes. If your rounds are traveling left or right, and your POI and PO, and you believe your POA is true, it's got to be wind. The wind
you
will
do for
push your
windage?
rounds. For windage? Now it depends on what type of wind it is. So, in theory, if it's a strong wind, suppose you are trying to hit the X in the center and you're hitting number 7s.
And move to the other number 7s and you could.
Yeah, well, it depends on how strong the wind is, right? You gotta go with the relative to the wind. So in the next round you'll fire, you will actually aim at the other 7 on the other side. Now if the wind is super ridiculous and strong, then you have to aim an entire... So sorry, it's a half target if the wind isn't that strong. If the wind is stupid strong, it's a full target in the other direction. So if I was hitting number 7, trying to... POI was number 7 with my POA being the X. Number 7 on the right, that is. How would I adjust to make sure I can get back on the X?
What did you say the wind was?
Wind is, well, you gotta figure it out from what I just said. So I'm hitting number 7 on the right. That's my POI, but my POA is the X in the center. How do I adjust?
Number 7 on the left side.
Yeah.
To the right?
You
No,
would
the
aim,
bullets are hitting to the right. I thought.
yeah, the bullets
Yeah,
are
so you'd
hitting
aim
to
to
the
the
right.
left.
So you're
So the
aiming to
wind,
left.
essentially the wind is blowing my rounds to the right, is what that means. My vertical is correct, my horizontal is off. It's windage. So suppose now I am aiming for the X in the center of the target right in front of me, but I am hitting the 7 on the target beside me on the left.
7 on the left.
Yeah, I'm actually hitting the other target 7 on the left, but I'm trying to aim for the center of mine. How would I adjust?
So you're
Somebody
hitting the
hasn't
right
answered one
target
already.
on the left side?
I'm gonna go for the center of
Here.
the other target.
Hold on. Let's do this on Twidla. It won't make any sense here. I can actually draw it there. Okay, so I am trying to aim. The O means your POI and X is PO. Sorry, aim is POA, X is POI. Okay, so I'm trying to hit in the center of the left target, but I'm actually hitting on the right target. How would I adjust to get back on? Where should my new PO point of aim be?
The 7 on the target to the left.
Pretty much. That should get me back on.
Started a circle there and it just did not happen.
Yeah. So it basically takes a counter force of the same thing to get back on. Sometimes you'll get like insane winds where it's like a straight crosswind or like gusts and stuff, depending on where you're shooting into. And wind does affect this game. I know a lot of people don't think it does.
But I do.
Wind is a serious factor, and when you start shooting these C6 and stuff, and you're shooting out past 800 meters, the wind will really take your rounds, which is why we're covering this part. Is to A, understand windage, and B, if you guys ever are trying to assist somebody shoot on target, you can explain to them that, hey man, you need to counter shoot what you're shooting into. A lot of people will figure it out eventually, it's common sense, but if you guys know that and you're on the ball, then you can ensure that they hit what they want to hit as quick as possible. Zeroing a gun is, sorry, getting a gun on target is like #1 priority for a gunner. Any questions with that part?
Not much.
No, does it make sense? Or is
Yeah.
it like, is it even useful to talk about it? Or
Yeah, I think so because might have probably might gonna need it during the course of days/week.
yeah, I'm sure a lot of the guys that actually shoot here in their pastime know that stuff already.
And another thing that's very good is I know that during the operation that we're gonna do, actually for myself, because we're gonna be light infantry, I know that we're gonna need it because we're gonna fucking attack town. So I'm pretty sure that we'd want to kill the most bad guy that we can before we enter the good thing that we pipeline.
There you go.
User joined your
A
channel.
little more lower, a little lower, but sure. That's the MPI. Easy peasy. When you have a horizontal grouping, what is going on with the shooter? Star. What?
I'm raising my hand.
No, I'm asking Star.
Yeah, I know.
Horizontal grouping. What happens in a horizontal grouping?
Hey, hello? Sorry, my
Yeah.
TeamSpeak farted. The wind is affecting the bullet.
Okay. More so now. Okay, we're considering now that it's not the wind. The shooter is doing something legitimately wrong, where his POI and his POI are not true. So, what do you suppose he could be doing wrong?
I don't know, maybe he's adjusting the gun because of recoil.
Sure. So unstable position. Sure, I'll take that one. Next one, another one there, Curdy. What else could be wrong if he's got a horizontal grouping, shooting side to side?
Well, I was about to say that, but
Somebody bail him out.
Poor trigger control.
Yeah.
Wind.
And one more.
Side to side.
he's not holding the weapon correctly.
Well,
What do
in
you mean,
armor,
like backwards?
in armor you can't really do that. I'm talking about armor-related things. So, you guys said jerking the trigger, pulling the shots. You guys said unstable control, so the guy's not set up properly, he's all messed up. What about one more?
Left or right could be wind.
Okay, yeah.
Poor firing position.
Yep. The last one was just hurrying his shots, shooting way too fast.
I thought that came with part of poor trigger control.
No, it's that one or the other. Jerking the trigger is different than hurrying the trigger. And last one is, what if a dude is doing a vertical grouping? What do you suppose is wrong with him? Like he's shooting straight up and down.
Out of breath.
Sure.
He's resetting his aim, or trying to.
Bad judge of distance. Range.
Yeah, exactly. His range is all out of whack. That is the biggest one with that. He's got good trigger control, but poor elevation, which means his range is all sorts of messed up. There's a lack of aiming precision, and poor follow through, what I was just talking about, where he's just jerking his trigger.
This also results in a very narrow dead zone, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Or beaten zone, sorry.
Well, I was gonna say shooting all over the place. Okie dokie.